This is the Zone 4 project, and we're going to talk about not only defending Zone 4, but also attacking Zone 4. In this example right here, we were defending in Zone 4. Austin won the ball. He's like, look, I didn't foul him. And Shipley is still advancing the ball out. And we're still now we're in Zone 1. What do we do? We're defending Zone 4, but now how do we get out of this area? So Shipley won the ball. Austin won the ball. Alex Shipley now has the ball at his feet. And now we need to figure out how to get out. But mainly defending in Zone 4, even more so important than Zone 3. I mentioned tight man marking. It really needs to be tight in Zone 4. Not just be able to touch him, but be able to hug him even if needed. So the objectives of defending in Zone 4 is to force him backwards to Zone 3 and touch tight man marking. Okay, realize that these priorities are different from Zone 3. Some of these principles are different, and the same I'm not going to talk through because I just went through them. But the priorities that are different from Zone 3 is once you find your man, get goal side of your man and track him at arm's length. Okay, so those priorities are a bit different than our priorities from Zone 3, right? That we had a little bit of a longer list. But find your man, making sure that you get goal side of your man and track him at arm's length, be able to be touch tight to him. These principles are the same as Zone 3. If you want more of an explanation on these, go back to the Zone 3 project and watch that. In attacking Zone 4, this is Dave Cash advancing the ball down the line for a shot. We look at this option right here. Once we've gotten the ball in Zone 4, right, we want shots. We want lots of shots. And the objectives: create opportunities from hold up play in the corner and center pocket, take shots from the pockets, and attack all rebounds. So going back to this picture right here, Dave Cash has the ball. He's pushing the ball. He's in Zone 4. He's going to be shooting that ball. It makes no sense for him to cut the ball back, shoot that ball. Shipley has slid back post. If the ball goes wide, he's there. It doesn't look like it would make it through to him in this case. But look at his defender. His defender is not goal side of him, which does allow for a ball to squirt through and him to finish. As Dave Cash pushes that ball down the line, this guy might start to leave Henry and step to him to double him, which would leave Henry wide open if Dave were to slot that ball through to him. So recognize, just based on that situation, that you might be able to be pretty in some situations, but it might not make sense to be pretty. It might make more sense just to shoot the ball. In this case right here, the ball was split. And this was the same exact example that I was mentioning in Zone 3, where Henry got the ball wide, played the ball to the guy down here. And Henry does like making this run. He does it a lot. He'll play the ball to the corner and he'll make a diagonal run in here, where Shipley is, it looks like, already has his hips and body motion. Looks like he's about to play Henry back a pass in order to play there. Okay, so Henry had that ball, played that ball in. Henry's making that run. Shipley might be able to lay that ball off in that area for a shot. Okay. And then also there's a picture of me having the ball in the corner, right? The goal is over here, just for reference. The goal is over here. So I have the ball in the corner now. I'm looking to get out. Now, if I feel that this guy is starting to wander around, I might hold the ball up there for a couple seconds. If this guy starts to wander around and try and win the ball this way, I'll turn him and go wall. If he just sits on me and says, hey, I got his back, then this option up the line will be there. So it's a win-win for me, right? When I get the ball on the boards, there are times where people are coming really hard and are hitting you and pushing you. And it's hard to keep the ball in the corner at times. But knowing in this option, when you get the ball in the corner, right, if you're strong on it, you're pushing off, notice that my arm is extended, not to the point where I have my full hand on him, but my arm's bent a little bit. It's on him. Sometimes I'm grabbing him. Those guys that play defense on me before, there are times where I might be grabbing you a little bit, pushing you a little bit, but that's all part of the game, right? If I'm not pushing him with two hands, one arm holding him back is okay. Also notice when I'm trapped in the boards like that, right? There might be times where I might have 1 or 2 arms on the boards, right? And that's a really hard position to get the ball in. If I have the ball in the corner and I have 2 arms on the boards, you either have to kick the ball as hard as you can to get it out from my foot or kick me. It's really hard. In this case, actually what happens in this case, this guy tries stepping around and I literally like bench press him off the boards, push him until I get the ball around this corner over here. So recognizing that, like, you can use 2 hands on the boards. We scored a goal off this sequence right here where Gavin ended up scoring, and guy on the other team said, wait, like, you're allowed to put 2 hands on the boards? You can do that? And the ref was like, yeah, you can do that. It was their first game, so they didn't know that. But yeah, you can put 2 hands on the boards and push off. That's fine. You can push. That's totally legal. So with that, as I mentioned, the objectives, we especially want to make sure we're attacking rebounds. The play is never over. Once you take a shot, continue to attack the boards. Please continue to attack. This picture looks familiar. Same one. So if we get the ball in the right corner here, recognize we need a drop option. We need guys attacking the box. A very similar image as we had in zone 3, right? So if we had the ball back in maybe that's from zone 2 even. I'll pull that up just to even take a look at it. Let's go zone 2. Zone 2 project. This is the image that I want. No, maybe that's not. Maybe it's in the very first one. The principles, what was it? Now I really want to know which one it's in, that picture. It was in weekly training plans. I'll copy and paste it in this one so that way I have it for next time. Was it in here? Yeah, this is it right here. Copy that. And I'll move it to here. Wait, it is there. That picture is there. I just needed to scroll down a little further. I thought I'd put it in there. All right. Anyway, so when the ball gets put in the corner here, providing a drop option, having an option here as well to push back, and then also having a guy here in the D and far post. I knew I had it somewhere. But with that, that ball off the board short goes in the middle, ball off the board is close to the keeper, bounces far. I get stuck in the corner in that situation right there. You see Axel is line as an option to go back to. Then what happens as this guy starts to get the ball, right? He has the switch option, or this guy, if this ball is played back in here, this guy might even want to drop in and provide an option there. If this guy ends up pushing up to be flat with him, the dangerous side of that is if this guy, let's say this is Axel, because that's the picture I just looked at. If we play back to Axel and Axel switches the ball to this guy that's wide and this guy loses the ball, he's just going to drive right down the middle of the field. So, it might be tempting. Oh, the ball just got played out. I'm going to go ahead and start going and occupying this space over here. If you do that and you lose the ball and you're the last person back, you got to foul him, right? You got to foul him. And we don't want to do that. So we want to make sure that we have this guy here, this ball played there. If this guy then drops back here, then that quick pass across can end up being a good pass. And then that player can occupy and start to work the ball into the zone again, into the sub zone, the side pockets, and the center pocket. Okay, so you have the options when the ball's in the corner. You can go from the corner into the box immediately, right? You might have the option to play it right in there. You might have the ball into the corner, into the side pocket, and then into the center pocket. So from the corner into the side pocket and then drive into the center pocket for a shot. This is also, we worked on this in training the other night, and it's zone 3, but it starts with a ball in zone 4. If you have this ball in zone 4 and you play this ball out, a quick switch this way can end up getting around the defense and allowing you to take an easy shot. And we worked on training, and the drill was we had one guy here, one guy here, one guy here, and one guy here. Can we quickly switch the ball and make it flat that we can go from here to here to here, right? So then once this guy got the ball, he played it low and then got the ball and then played a quick switch transition pass. Even with no defenders, right? It's not always going to happen perfectly every single time. So playing that ball flat, getting it there quick. So this player, as we go back and then we play the switch ball, as this guy is getting the ball, we can then get a shot off. This guy can advance the ball for a shot. But what happens is when the ball gets in the corner, people start to lose their men because now they're all facing their own goal. They're all facing their own goal. Now we play it out and around. Now they're no longer facing their goal. Now they're turned around and facing out, and this guy might be open. As this guy pops out, maybe his man gets caught in the box and isn't looking. And as we play there, as we play back, as this guy pops out, we play him. He's now wide open. He can take a shot advancing the ball in one of the pockets. Okay. And then also from the corner, there might be times where you get the ball in the corner and you're just stuck and you don't have much to do and you just battle, fight for it. And you're like right here, but this isn't an option there. And that's not an option because they have traffic that's going on in the middle. You might just want to shoot the ball as hard as you can at the goalie. You'd be surprised sometimes it ends up going in, right? Even with no lane. But from this distance, if you're this close, if you just blast it at the goalie, a lot of times I'll just like toe it, right? The goalie like makes a quick reaction save and it might bounce off the boards and get right to someone, or it might just bounce off the boards and come right back to you for maybe another shot. So there might be times you're stuck and you're working the ball right around the boards and you don't have an option to drop. You might just want to blast it as hard as you can at the keeper from that angle. Even though you really don't have an angle, you might just want to blast that. It might squeeze through. It might end up going wide. Most of the time he'll make a save on it, but not hold on to it, right? Point blank, you're not going to hold on to that ball. And make sure to crash the ball, right? Crash it. When you're that close, when you're in this corner right here and the ball hits off, crash the boards. If the shot goes wide, then what will happen is this player will slide around and pick that ball up, and now we're right back to where we were on this side. And let's continue to win the ball. And one of the biggest things is you take a shot and the ball bounces off the boards and it starts bouncing around and they get possession like right here. We don't just all drop back off and say, oh yeah, good job, you guys won the ball. No, we want to win that ball back. I'd say in the first 5 seconds, right? In the first 5 seconds, press, because then that comes our defending in zone 1 tactics that we talked about, right? How teams do that. Already mentioned pop the balloon, right? Being able to play the ball into the target forward and then popping the ball out. Very similar to zone 3. And a lot of these topics are repeated from zone 3 because we talked about them in zone 3. One of the biggest things about zone 3 is advancing the ball into those pockets, but some of those pockets also occupy space in zone 4. So, being able to attack those pockets, take shots, making sure that we are creating opportunities and taking lots of shots in zone 4. Okay, the same picture that I had before in zone 3, making sure that when we play that ball down into the corner, when that ball is played down there, that we need that guy sliding around. So even though the ball started in zone 3, it does become a zone 4 issue if we lose the ball, get countered on because of it. The same exact options as mentioned before in zone 3. If you want more of I will have the video up for each of these zones. If you want more specification on this, watch the zone 3 video. And some other examples, why it's important to attack rebounds. I could add 100 examples in there. I'll probably do it as I watch more film. And put more examples of each of these in here. And if you guys find film and find examples that you think would be relevant, please send them to me, right? Say, hey, look, I was watching this in the game the other day, and send me the link and just send me the minute it happened in, and I'll clip it up and put it in here. So with that, there are some concepts that are similar in zone 3, but it is different. It's closer to goal, right? You want to take shots in zone 4. When the ball's in zone 3, we want to advance the ball to zone 4 ultimately, because that's where a lot of shots are going to get taken. Some MASL games, some footage from it, 3 goals. Watch each of those and explain what actually works for them. right? Explain how the goals were scored. And that is Zone 4 project.